And now we are going to find different seating positions because this is officially an Invader Zim panel.
Well, we do voiceover. You don't need to see us.
Do we like that?
What, are you saying I am ugly?
Richard doesn't work in a sound booth anymore. He works in a toll booth.
Yes. Give me your coins. Give me your fast pass.
What is that? What's that glowing thing over there? What is that? All right.
Ah, yeah.
Ooh, I was worried.
Just a robot, don't worry.
Yeah, I just had a bad dream the other day.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I was a UPS man trying to bring a package to a deer that lived in a cave, and then I got stuck in it.
You got stuck in the deer or in the cave?
Yeah.
Or...
I got stuck in the, yes.
Got it.
Sometimes the answer is both.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, we are here for so many things. You guys have been, like I said earlier, just voices that stick with us. So many voices. We'll spend the next hour earning that apology. And, but no, in all truth, the first question I like to ask, it is kind of the boilerplate question, but I do think it's of interest to all of us here. How did you come to the world of Invader Zim? What was that process like?
Well, my parents gave birth to me.
Right. We came through the birth canal first and foremost,
Right.
and then we were Zim and Gur.
Great. Chapter 1.
Chapter 1. Chapter 1. I am born.
Oh, how was that for you?
What is your question? What is your question, Carl?
So,
Was it a question or a statement? I thought it was a statement.
see, well, the question is, how did you become involved with Invader Zim?
Oh, we auditioned.
Great. Fantastic. Good answer
Well,
to a boring question.
it was a stormy night, and it was dark.
Oh.
And it was dark and stormy.
In Burbank?
In Burbank.
Oh.
I didn't.
For me, Ricky had been on the show and done the pilot. I didn't do the pilot originally. I was doing Angry Beavers at the time. Yeah. And Spooty Beaver. Jonan had been a fan of mine from Power Rangers, believe it or not. And he wanted me to come and audition, and I thought that I was more right for the character of Dib. In fact, I thought I was auditioning for Dib, because I could go like this. Nyeh, 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 not this time, Zim! But no, he wanted me to audition for Zim, and then Jonan wanted me to do Zim, but the Nickelodeon said, well, he's already doing Angry Beavers. We don't want him on both shows at the same time. And so I cried. And then Angry Beavers.
I still have the tears.
He has tears. He collected them. He sips on them every now and then.
Oh my goodness! Careful rationing or a lot of tears.
That's where I get my power.
He sips on the tears of sad children.
Yeah. They ain't using them anymore.
Yeah.
They cried them out.
And then the Beavers ended, and they hadn't released the pilot yet, and Jonan came back and said, hey, will you dub over Billy West's voice? And I said, sure. And I did, and he pitched it a little bit then, and then sent it off to New York, and they go, hey, we don't know who that is. Yeah, he can do it. So that's how I got into Zim.
Awesome.
Ricky?
Hi, how you doing, Richard?
Good, how you doing today?
All right.
I hear the train a-coming.
No.
It's rolling
there's no
around the
train.
bend.
There's no train, Richard. Whew, got that over with. So what was the question? I missed it.
Getting into the role of Gur for
Yes.
Invader Zim, the process,
Right, getting into it.
the epic saga.
Well, they give me a script, and then I walk up to the mic, and I go, woo!
And then Act 2 is Grr! That's it.
You mean like when I auditioned? I got the audition in 1998.
What was it like back then?
Oh, there was a whole different world back then. The internet was just two babies talking to each other like some sort of like
With a
tin
can and a string.
Can and a string
Yeah.
attached to powered by a mouse named Larry.
Larry's still working.
Yeah, it was still black and white back then too.
Yeah.
No color.
Nope.
No.
Everything was in
Didn't
black
have
and
any-
white.
It was scary times. I thought I was going blind. But So I got the audition from Jonan. He said, "Do you want me?" I said, "Do you want me to audition for this?" And he said, "Yeah, I guess you couldn't screw it up any more than anyone else."
Wait, was he wrong?
Actual true thing, he said. And when I got the role, Nickelodeon finally agreed to it because they thought Gurr would be a minor character.
What were you, 16?
I was 12.
That made you a minor character.
Amazing. Awesome. Well, we're going to start getting ready for audience questions because my favorite moderators always talk the least, and we get audience questions going first. We're going to set up a microphone right over there, so we're going to start lining up in that aisleway. That's going to be how
Don't
this
rush
works.
all at once.
This is Minnesota rushing. You know, it's just very
Yes.
polite rushing.
Yes.
I haven't heard a single "oop, sorry," so they are really fierce right now.
Yes. Sorry, yes.
There it is.
I had pork chops last night. Boy, do I like pork chops.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
He liquefied them.
I did.
and drank
Great.
them
So,
down.
in other words, you're enjoying Minneapolis so far.
Yeah.
Great.
Good food.
It's very
Good
cold.
food.
It's very cold. My pants are too thin for here.
Good food.
I didn't pack the right pants.
All right.
Good eating.
These trousers are mostly spandex. I shouldn't have worn like
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Spider-Man. How is Spider-Man even alive?
They are spandex because you do that Olivia Newton-John scene from
Right.
Grease.
I-
I got chills.
Well, I do yoga in these.
They're multiplying.
Yeah. Just anytime you're not watching me in my booth, I got my leg like just detached and I'm stretching it out over the table. Hi.
Hi. Great, and I'm going to make a quick request. If you can take a knee in line, do so we don't lose this whole wing of visibility. Thank you so much. No, you're fine. You got the question to be asked. All right, here's our first audience question.
Okay, so this question is for Mr. Horvitz.
Please call me Sir Mr. Horvitz.
All right. So, Sir Mr. Horvitz, in the first episode of Invader Zim, when Zim was referring to his invader blood, he said
Yes.
that it was like giant radioactive rubber pants
Correct.
marching through his blood. And I remember seeing in an interview somewhere that you had like sort of messed up that line, but Jonan liked it, so he kept it. Were there?
That is true, Stephanie. That was the thing. I was in the booth, and the original line was, "Invader's blood marches through my veins like giant radioactive rubber ants," and I accidentally said rubber pants, and Jonan said, "Yeah, okay, let's do that." Yeah.
Were there any other instances of where you sort of changed the lineup and they kept it?
Yes, I used to always go, "I am Gurr," and Jonan said, "Okay, let's do that too."
And I would just go home.
Thank you.
Yeah, you just go home. Not that I can recall offhand. Anything like that you can remember where we we said something wrong, and they kept it? Oh well, one of my favorite stories is that there's I think it was from Mortos del Soul Stealer about we couldn't say the underworld, right?
Couldn't say the underworld.
Couldn't say the
it,
word
no.
underworld.
So what'd you say instead?
We said, "You are from that place below the overworld."
Yeah.
And I liked ultra pee-pee.
I
Pee-pee. I
feel
like to
like-
sing pee-pee.
I feel like we could say more stuff in the movie than we could in the series.
Yeah, I think we were ahead of our time, and
Yeah.
they just didn't.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like we were like in around last week.
We were in 2001.
Yes, when we recorded it, 2001, we said we were ahead of our time. So like what?
2002.
By a couple hours?
A couple hours.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you
Stephanie.
so much for the great question. Thank you. All right, yeah, we can clap for the questions. This is a good question. Highly encouraged. All right, next question.
This is for both of you. What do you think is the best song between the Doom song and Peace is Nice?
What's the
What's the best song?
What's the best?
between The Doom song and Peace is Nice.
Oh. Peace is unattainable.
Peace is unattainable. Peace, peace, peace is not sustainable. Give it up. Love it.
I don't know that part.
You know that? Wait, we have to write that.
Yeah!
Peace will never enter into your life.
Yes!
I like Peace is Nice myself.
Yeah, it was more complex, more nuanced, had more texture to it.
And besides, the Doom song is 6 months long, so
Yeah,
it takes
you can
forever
only-
to sing. Takes forever to
You
sing.
can only play that twice a year.
Twice a year.
Great question. Thank you so much.
Okay, so I have a question for each of you. Richard, I feel like it was one of your lesser-known roles, but I knew you were Rasputin and Psychonauts.
Yes, Psychonauts. Yes.
And I'm just wondering what was your favorite part of working on that game?
Oh wow, that's a tough one. Well, first of all, I thought that the storyline of the game was amazing. It's just so smart to be dealing with like psychological issues as part of the game. So you would deal like, you know, if you had an inferiority complex or some sort of trauma as a child, the idea of being able to actually jump into somebody's head to correct it was an amazing thing. It's a very difficult game. It's a hard game, especially the Meat Circus game. But predominantly, I like working with Tim Schafer, who is just a brilliant guy and has always been very nice to me. After that game, he put me in almost every game that he did afterwards. So I'm really, really grateful to Tim Schafer. Good question. Oh, wait, he had one question for Ricky.
Yeah.
What was your question for Ricky?
Well, for Ricky, I heard that the reason why Gur was always choking on something whenever he drank something was because of your throat problems and making those slurping sounds. And
Yes.
I have asthma.
Yes.
I was
And I have a terrible gag reflex.
I was just wondering how you felt about that becoming an actual part of the show.
Oh, I think it's brilliant. Anytime the animators do stuff like that. In the movie, I'm also Bloaty. Look at Bloaty! And they had me do something, and I started spasming and coughing. So the storyboard artist had Bloaty spit a pizza against the wall. They just kept it in.
Yeah, and he would have an asthma attack, and it would really make all of us angry because we had to wait for him to come back.
Yeah, they're just furious.
To come back to
Yeah,
consciousness.
it's such a nice
Hey,
people.
Ricky, will you
Nice
wake
people
up
to work
already?
with. Such a loving family
Hey,
environment.
Ricky, can you please breathe?
Yeah. Yeah, and then there's Richard just give me a tracheotomy
That's
again.
right,
Yeah.
with a pen,
Yeah.
with a big pen.
Straw in there.
I just
All
go,
right, let's go. Let's keep going. Hi,
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah,
It's fun
yeah,
times here at
yeah.
Nickelodeon.
And then just one nostril went.
I felt bad for the writer's assistant who had to clean up all the blood all the time. Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh.
Great
At least
question.
I got tea afterwards.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello to both of you. First off, just got to say, I'm the most starstruck by both of you out of all the guests here.
Oh, thank you.
And my question for both of you is, I've heard a few like secondhand stories about how weird of a person Jonan Vasquez is to work with. So what is the weirdest quirk of his that you both personally observed working
Levitation.
with him? Okay, I didn't hear that one.
Summoning demons out of his coffee mug. Which is weird, because he only drinks tea.
He does summon demons out of his coffee mug. That's
But
a
he only
gift.
drinks tea, so it's weird.
Yeah.
He doesn't like coffee at all. Doesn't like chocolate. I think that's
Oh yeah, my
really
gosh,
weird.
he loves candy.
Yeah, he loves, but he hates
Loves
chocolate.
candy.
He hates chocolate. He likes fruity candies.
Yeah, he likes fruity
He's a
candies.
weirdo.
Yeah, he's a weirdo.
Because
We
obviously,
would always walk into the-
chocolate is the best thing in the world. Yeah, thank you.
Chocolate is nice. Chocolate is nice. Chocolate is better than.
chocolate. Yeah, so levitation.
Krispies of rice.
Fear of chocolate. Demon summoning.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He used to walk into the booth because he had these like Mondo boots that were like 17 and a half inches higher than off the ground. And he would walk in, he would just kick us in the stomach.
Right. And he did wear that suit made out of puppies that one time. But they were
Yeah.
alive. It was
But
fine.
they were
liked it.
cute. They were
yeah.
cute.
And they would fall over and they would carry him off.
Yeah. That's because the staples would come out. and
Well,
they
sure.
fall off.
Yeah. His staples.
His staples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was full of sutures all the time.
All the time.
Limbs falling off
Oh.
constantly. We'd have to staple him back
I remember
together.
that one time.
His dad
chest
built him in a
opened.
lab. He was like a tiny Frankenstein.
A tiny Frankenstein.
Tiny. He's like this
Tiny.
big. You put him in your pocket. If you go to
Yeah.
lunch, we're like, hey, okay.
Remember we used to play
Where
that
do you want to
football
go?
game with him?
You know,
Where you
yeah.
were like that, and
Well,
I would go,
sure. Yeah, and he only knew that he wanted which restaurant he wanted because he started kicking you in the chest.
Uh-huh.
Those big boots.
Ah,
Tiny,
the good
goes in
old
your pocket.
days.
Yeah. Whew, he's in the UK right now, starving to death because he can't find anybody to give him a room service. He doesn't know how to do anything.
That's because if they deliver, they don't come back.
Well, they might step on him. He's very tiny. They
He's
might,
tiny.
you might step
He's
on him
tiny.
and crush him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's tiny. He
Yeah.
fits through that key card.
Remember that
thing.
time he rode a cockroach into work?
Yes.
That's good.
Oh my gosh.
You really brought him down memory lane. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for that great question.
Yes, thank you very much.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, so I was wondering what your favorite.
Fools! You are all sheep!
So I have a question for the both of you.
Start with my question first.
Okay.
And end with his question last.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same question.
Okay.
Okay, so start with half the question.
Okay.
Right.
So what is your
Start with the last word of the question.
Yes. In alphabetical order.
Okay.
In Pig Latin.
Yes.
You know, once I have the answer to that, I'll give it to you.
No.
But
Okay.
Come on, let's do it. Let's have it.
So, what's your favorite?
Why are you taking so long?
What's
Who
your,
are you?
I'm Haley.
Who are you?
What's your favorite?
What?
All right, tell you what. You can whisper me the question. He's not going to let you have it.
Okay.
All right, whisper me the question.
What's your favorite?
What?
What's it? What? What's it?
What's your favorite?
You lie!
What's it?
What is your favorite line?
Okay. I forgot it.
What?
I ate a baby there.
Yeah.
He did. My favorite line is, I was late on that. Let's try that again. No,
I ate
that
a
was
baby.
Gur.
I
liked it.
ate, no, ate, yeah.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
I ate a baby there, mother.
He did. My favorite line is, Grr, why was there bacon in the soup? It's my favorite line.
I slaughtered a pig.
Although I've come up with a few new ones that are my favorites from the movie. Like, I read this person's paper. I don't pay for a subscription.
You're lying, Dib.
That
You're
line-
ugly when you lied.
Oh, yeah, that was I did improvise that one. Who asked that question? The line was originally, you're ugly when you lie, Dib. And it just ended with, I'm not lying, as they're running. And I said, then why are you ugly? That was mine.
Thank you.
Great question. Fantastic. Yeah, that's a good sport.
I have a question for Richard, if it's okay.
Say again?
I have a question for Richard, if it's okay.
Yes.
So I wasn't able to go to the InvaderCon, so what I did instead was binge watch every single video I could find on it.
Yes.
And every time someone asked, do you think Invader Zim was coming back, you would say no. What was your response to the movie then?
No.
Yeah. They're like, come back, Richard. I
like-
don't believe you.
It's like,
Come out of your
did you or
bedroom.
did you not lie? Answer the question.
Come out of your toll booth, Richard.
You know what?
Make it a show.
Ricky knew about this show, well, the movie, before I did.
I didn't want to disappoint you in case it didn't happen.
Ricky doesn't like to disappoint me because I'm very mean to him when he
Yeah.
does.
He pulled my wings off once.
Yes. Yes, that was fun.
They're hard to grow back.
Ricky one day just goes, I know something.
I did not do it like that.
Yeah, he goes, I know
I did not do something like that.
I
did
know
not do it like that.
I know something.
There you go.
And I'm like, eh. He goes, I know something. I go, eh.
I just got on your other.
And I was like, Invader Zim is coming back. Ricky and I have been on the road for the last 16 years together. That's a true story. That we've been on the road promoting this show at
don't know what our
conventions.
homes look like.
We don't, for the last 16 years, hoping that someday they'd stop us at a studio to record something. And that's how we did Zim the movie.
We're like
Enter
knocking
the
on every
Florpus.
door, hoping that if we actually
Like,
walk in
hello,
the
I am Zim. This is my robot dog, Gurr.
I'm a person.
No, he's not.
Well, thank you for being part of our childhoods.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for a great question.
Your parents owe us babysitting money.
All right, so I had a question for both of you.
$5.
So you're both really just kind of out there and crazy in the show, and obviously from this panel, just in real life. But have you always been this way, or has there been a time where you were, maybe not as crazy as you are now?
Excuse me?
Sometimes crazy.
You
just grows.
speak idiot talk. Shut your noise tube, Earth Pig. No, I've always been this way. Ricky?
I used to have a lot of hand puppets when I was little. A lot of hand puppets. So many. I didn't hear the question, actually.
The question is why are you so crazy?
Oh. Pew, 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 pew.
Pew, 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 pew. He's playing Star Wars in his head right now.
I guess I have a secondary question. What
That's
was your
the only
favorite
way I can
hand
answer
puppet?
that question.
What was
And
your
we've
favorite
always
hand
been
puppet?
how we are.
Yeah.
I mean, this is part of our chemistry in the booth.
Right. Yeah.
We
I just had like a whole pack of lifesavers. Whole thing.
Not
All right
not the
down.
candies, those big ones on boats.
Yeah.
The ones he eats those.
Right off the Titanic.
Right, he eats it.
Yeah.
It says SS Gurr.
Yeah. They are sugary. So,
I don't know how to answer your
I don't know why they
question.
No,
sugar them.
I think that's good. Do you,
know.
do you have a follow-up?
For Ricky, what was your favorite hand puppet?
Whoa, good. I had an animal hand puppet that I really loved.
But it was an actual animal.
But his eyebrows were great because his eyebrows would go up and down, so I'd be like, "Ah!" and my mom would shut the door.
Awesome.
Turns out it was just a paper towel.
Thank you so much for the
Excellent, thank you.
questions.
So, you guys are amazing, and your personalities are so strong. And it
Please don't
comes-
kill us.
You know,
No, please kill me now.
I can't make any promises. So, your personalities come through in your characters so well, which is amazing. But how much creative control did you guys actually have in the direction of the characters?
Well, Jonan, like, he knows what he wants to do, and then we screw it up, and then he likes that more. Basically. And then we workshop that screw up and then to something that weird and that he likes even more, and then that happens.
So did this lead to actually an evolution of the characters from the original writing of the script?
The evolution of the characters from the writing of the script, does that lead to this thing that is this genius that is us?
Yes, the genius. The genius.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, the genius.
We are completely the products of Nickelodeon trademark.
Yeah, they brand your butt second you get in there.
What? They brand your butt?
Yeah, it's gonna be.
I don't know how to tell them. That didn't happen to any of us but
Security,
him.
security comes in. They wear these big SpongeBob helmets that hold you down. That's cute though. It's a little picture of SpongeBob.
You know, a good show creator will understand people's strengths. I'm an improviser, so I've been lucky in the shows that I've done that my people that are the creators of my show understood that. And like on Billy and Mandy, Maxwell Adams is a perfect example of someone who let me go off forever. You know, yeah. Say, what are you wearing those pants for? Those are really cool. And so that's how that kind of character evolved from
Not
me.
that
Was
he
that
could
I just
stop
kind
him.
of, I just kept rambling on and on and on until they said cut.
So they were worn out.
Yeah.
They literally couldn't go any
Exactly.
further.
Like, yeah, that's funny.
They were lying on
I
the
know,
floor
right,
in the booth.
Yeah. We where I forgot what I was saying, but like I'll give you for
Ricky's
example.
the best person in the world.
Oh, that's what I was saying. Ricky is the best person in the world. When we were doing the Big Boogie Adventures on Billy and Mandy, perfect example. there was a song that we sing where Billy sings, "Scary-o, scary-o, I'm scared but I'm very though. Scary, scary, scary-o, well, I'm not scared from my head to toe. I guess I am kind of scared." And I was looking forward to it because the whole next day, it gets to this break in the song where there's this, like, 1980s hairband riff where Billy's like, "I'm not scared," you know, and I could not wait to do it. And it turns out that they hired someone to come in and sing that break, like an 80s thing. Yeah, right? So I was like really upset, so I pouted. And they said, "What's wrong with you?" And I said, "Well, I was looking forward to that. I think Billy should sing that part." And Max said, "Okay, well, if we have time before lunch, we'll let you take a shot at it." I'm like, "Okay." So time kept going by, and lunch came up, and they broke for lunch. And I'm like, "Hey," but he goes, "Oh, fine. You can do a take." I'm like, "Okay." So we got to that part, and it's like, "I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I'm just really, really hungry. I want a sandwich." And because it was lunchtime, and he loved it, and that ended up being the break in the song. So that could, yeah. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
When in doubt, pout it out.
And that was just your Cher imitation.
That was one. Gypsies, tramps, and thieves. I was born in the wagon of. If I could turn back time, if I could find a way. Thank you. Woo! That was actually Elvis.
I know.
All right. Hey, guys, it was an absolute pleasure to meet you guys earlier today and actually sit down and talk with you for a little bit. But I completely forgot this question until like an hour ago. So I wanted to ask you this, Sir Mr. Horvitz. You don't have to confirm nor deny this, but is Rasputin going to is Rasputin going to be in Super Smash Brothers?
Is what gonna happen? Who?
Is Rasputin going to be in Super Smash Brothers?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I haven't heard that. Interesting. Because, you know, Tim sold the company, so that's an interesting thing. I don't know the answer to that one. I would neither confirm nor deny it. I would just say, I don't know.
I thought Rasputin was killed in the Russian Revolution in
He was, but they had a very hard time killing him. Because they stabbed him, they drowned him, they shot him, but he would not die.
Right.
Much like
you.
Yes. Don't try it, though.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you for the question.
All right, so when Urkins inevitably invade the Earth, where will be the best place to go and hide?
McDonald's.
Yeah, that's actually true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They like snacks, though.
Yeah.
So stay away from 7-Eleven. I'm pretty sure they would just annihilate the Earth. They would just like it was shown in the movie. They just blow away any planet in their path without thinking.
And the toilet.
And the toilet. Yeah, hide in the toilet.
Yeah. 16 years? Yes.
Yeah. Fine.
Yes.
Good survival question.
That's probably one of my favorite moments. You've been hiding in a toilet for 16 years? Yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So the question I'd like to ask would be season
Your
3.
shirt says Planet Booty. I just wanted to let you know that.
Yes, it does.
All right.
They're a good band.
Go ahead.
The question I'd like to ask is season 3 when, but I have a feeling I wouldn't get a straight answer.
You bought that shirt, right?
Yes, I did.
All right.
You know you've thrown down the gauntlet when you said, "I know I won't get a straight answer."
Probably, yeah. So how about...
What?
How about if you could voice any comic book character in an animated series, what would it be? For both of you.
Booty Man.
I would do Invader Zim from the Invader Zim comic book.
There are 3 butts on this shirt. If there was 1 butt not enough?
No.
All right. Because it's a planet of booty.
I'm trying to design that. I don't know. I've got 1 butt. Let me try 1 more butt. What's going to really make this really...
Now it's Planet Booty.
I know. 3 butts.
Land here.
All right, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for the question.
Hey guys, thank you both for just being such an outlet and a creative expression for all
You're
of us
welcome.
that deal with impulsivity and ADHD. Your show has always been such an inspiring thing for me. In the beginning of the show, we see Zim get his SIR unit, but it's kind of busted up. They crack open its head and throw some garbage in it, and that seems to contribute to its personality. If you guys were SIR units, what would the tallest have thrown in your heads that had this outcome?
Beef jerky.
Sadness.
Oh.
Oof.
Liquid sadness.
Is it supposed to be stupid?
Is it supposed to be sad?
Is it supposed to be depressed? It's not depressed. It's advanced.
Exactly like Marvin the Paranoid Android from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Here we go.
Great. Awesome.
I would put in Catcher in the Rye. See, I read too. I would put in
Apocalypse Now.
Apocalypse Now.
And beef jerky.
Are you an assassin? You're not even that. You're a grocery boy come to collect on the bill.
Thank you so much. Great question.
Hi. What? Actually, it was more for you. What was one of your favorite moments from Angry Beavers?
I always like the Muscular Beaver episodes. Muscular Beaver, whoosh! Dun, 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 dun. Careful, citizen, or you'll cut yourself on my razor-sharp fur of steel. That's one of my favorite. I loved all the Muscular Beaver episodes. Yeah.
No, I don't know. Dang, it was definitely one of my favorites.
Yay, you've got good taste, my friend.
And especially considering I was like 10 and my brother was like 6, so I called him a spoot head for like a month.
Yes. Yes. Yes, it was a thinly veiled insult. Spoot head.
And then what was the the funniest line that you could not stop laughing with Gurr?
With Gurr? I guess it was this one. Hey, Gurr, it's me, Zim.
Hello.
See, I still can't get. I still can't get through that line. Gurr!
I am Gurr now.
There's a famous story. There's a famous story that we've made famous.
Is there?
Yeah, it was that one day I got on this jag about the fact that Yoda is supposed to be this all-seeing master of the Force, but anytime there was any really important question that he had to answer, the answer was always, cloudy.
Master Yoda, where to leave my car keys?
Cloudy.
Master Yoda, do you think I'll ever
Cloudy.
Master, do you want
Cloudy.
Do you want a pizza?
Cloudy.
So we did that all through the session. Because it's like, who's the emperor, the evil emperor that's sitting right next to you? Cloudy. He just never knew, right? And we did this through the entire session, and Jonan got so mad at us because we wouldn't stop.
Well, you did it in the car all through
Yeah,
lunch.
because then we went
was
to
the
lunch
problem.
afterwards, and we're driving, and I was in the back seat just going,
Cloudy.
Cloudy. And he would stop. He goes, okay, stop! I will turn this car around. You remember that? And then he kicked me in the stomach. While driving.
But he was tiny, so it's
He
fine.
was tiny, so he climbed up the little ignition switch.
Thank you for your questions. Thank you so much.
So my question first was from a friend for Ricky.
No.
What is Gurr's favorite food, and what breed of dog is he?
Oh, well, I don't think he's, I don't, Gurr doesn't really have like a favorite food. He just eats whatever's put in front of him.
He just eats food.
He seeks out things that suddenly, that he gains attention for them. But, he would, if you've seen the movie, he would eat a taco as much as he would eat a baby.
He did.
He did.
He did.
So whatever just is there at that moment, That's what he's gonna eat. But what was the other question?
What kind of dog
I had
Oh, he's green. A pantomime dog.
So I had a question for Richard, but I forgot it.
Right. I know how that
So
goes.
can we just get a loud, bold "I am Zim"?
I am Zim. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I am Zim. Me am Zim.
I
Zim
am
is me.
Zim. I am, what is it, your line? I am government man.
I am government man. Come from the government. The government has sent
You
me.
did that, didn't you? Or
That's
was
a
that true
government
art?
pig. I did that.
You did that.
Yeah, it's Gert.
Oh.
Gert's in the government man suit.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's
I did
right.
it. So
Yeah,
I did it.
I forgot.
Yeah. Because I'm that good. No one knows. Woot, woot, woot. Hi, robot person.
Hello.
Wow.
So, being a robot, I'm always
What?
interested in other robots. What are your guys' favorite robots besides Gur?
I like Vincent from the Black Hole, Walt Disney, 1978. I like R2D2. He's pretty cool. I like the R5D4 unit. I like Maximilian, also from the Black Hole. I like for the original Robbie the Robot. He was pretty neat. Forbidden Planet is a great movie. I like the little weird Fantastic Four cartoon robot that was in the Fantastic Four TV series back in around 1984. I like a lot of mecha. I like Giant Robo from the movie Giant Robo, the OVA series, and I like, well, they're not really like a robot. They're like a mecha of Dunbine from the Dunbine series. But there's also, Gigantor, which is really Tetsujin 28, and then there was all of them. They're called Veritech and Robotech, but it's really Macross, and they're Valkyries in Macross. But they're not really robots per se. They're just mecha that have robotic servos. But I also like, oh boy,
Keanu Reeves.
Thank you, robot.
You know what I don't like? I don't like Rosie the robot.
Ah, yes, Rosie
from
Robot.
Jetsons. I don't like her at all. She's got an attitude.
You're a misogynist. Robotchist. Robosogynist. You're a robosogynist.
Robosogynist?
You're a robosogynist.
Robosogynist.
Copyright. Trademark.
Hi there. Angry Beavers and Billy and Mandy Zim, it's no secret that they got undertones of adult humor to them. And you touched a little bit on your improving. Did you ever come up with any lines in the booth where you were surprised they put it on air?
No.
Or maybe something that they said, okay, no, let's not do that one.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Mostly every Invader Zim we're surprised made it to the air, but
I mean, I had an office because I was also a background painter in the original show, and every time I got a script, I would pack up my desk.
yeah. No, I mean, nothing that I can really think of. No, we still had the producers and the network in the booth with us as they were recording, and they would go, no.
You got the squirt bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Terrible.
They'd shake a can at Ricky.
Yeah. I didn't like that.
Yeah. No.
Who likes
No,
that,
Ricky.
right? Especially when they take that snake can, they open it, and the snake pops out.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. but
That
it was
always got me every time.
Except it was a cobra.
Yeah. Oh, you got me again. That one. I remember that one time.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question.
Yes.
Look, it's Dib, your nemesis.
Zim.
Hideous monster.
Ugly pig smelly.
I'm getting out of the way of this.
Dib. Nothing's more disgusting than that.
Well, now you've just hurt my feelings.
You getting your head squished. What are you doing now? What's this?
It's all over my head. His Dib is
Oh,
all over
yeah,
my head.
okay.
It's like a booger.
Oh.
Yes, Dib, what is your question?
I just wanted to say, coming from Dib, Invader Zim was like an anchor growing up through a really tough time. And it just helped me like improve so much as a person. Weird from coming from this cartoon, yeah.
You're
From
not
this-
the first person that
yeah.
said that. That's true
Yeah.
for a lot of people. Yeah.
Even with all the screams?
Especially because of all the screams.
So it was like,
Ricky.
like scream therapy.
Yeah, it was scream therapy. I screamed along with the episodes.
yes.
Yeah. But I just really wanted to thank you guys for that. And
Oh, thank you. All right, I take it back. Here's your head back.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God. I was wondering if Zim and Dib had any words of wisdom for people going through a hard time.
Yes. So Dib would go, nyeh, 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 don't be depressed. And Zim would be like, This
is good advice. Write this
down. I will allow you to be my bestest friend.
Is this official?
No. Dear Mr. Horvitz, I met you in Minneapolis. You said that I could be. And what is your social security number? You said.
Oh, I could tell them that.
Yeah.
Let me get my notebook out real quick. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, and just so we know, we've got about 10 minutes left.
Hi there.
Hi.
I was just going to say, I grew up as a kid, I watched Invader Zim, and then eventually it disappeared, like on the network. And then suddenly I'm in like my local town at the mall. I go to a Hot Topic and I see there's so many GUR merchandise.
GUR, GUR, GUR. America loves GUR.
So,
Thank you.
my question.
Zim is more rare. Dib.
What America don't love is giving her any royalties, though.
So
You buy them products. Don't know me.
So my question was, what were your guys' reactions to just going to like a mall and just seeing a bunch of Zim merchandise?
I don't go to the mall.
I live in a mall, so it's not that big.
He has no choice.
Yeah. I live in Sephora. Because it smelled good. There were times where we did appearances at a Hot Topic in the early years.
We did?
Yeah, no, no, we didn't.
I didn't.
No, you didn't. No, but it was like you couldn't find any Zim anywhere, so I'd stop. I boycotted all malls after that.
Oh, sure. You were like making your own paper mache dibs and putting them in the Hot Topics, so that people would buy something.
Why Dib? No, I'm not Zim.
Yeah.
You just said
Zim?
Dib. I'm Zim.
You're Zim?
Yeah, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I am
all
Zim.
these years.
Remember that I am Zim.
Yeah.
I am Zim. You think I was just saying that for
No,
fun?
I thought you were
I am
kidding.
Zim.
No, I thought you were Dib all this time.
It is I Zim.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed.
Blockbuster Revelations at Minneapolis GalaxyCon.
Yeah.
Just killing it.
Thank you for the
Thanks
therapy
for-
session, everyone.
Anyway, Richard's checking account number is.
Thank you so much.
Silly. Who uses checks anymore?
I have another question, if that's all right.
No.
Okay.
All right, you may ask.
If you guys could write your own episodes, what would they be about?
Zim.
I was writing an episode when the show got canceled. Me and my friend and I,
It was
Eric
canceled
Trueheart,
because of
we
your
were
episode.
writing an episode called Squishy Hugger of Worlds. And it was about how there was a big alien named Squishy. He's the size of a planet, and what he likes to do is he flies from planet to planet and hugs them until they explode. And he was on his way to Earth to hug the Earth, and so Dib found out, and he was going to go out there and stop him from destroying the Earth. And Zim found out, so he was going to go out there and stop him from destroying his Earth before he could destroy it. He was being followed. When they go out there, they found out he's being followed by an alien fleet of all the planets that he's already hugged and squished to death, and they were going to blow up the Earth before he could hug it just to make him feel bad. So that's what I was working on, and then we got the first couple lines done, and then they called us out to cancel the show. So
Aw.
hooray!
Thank you.
Thanks
You're
for the
welcome.
question.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. That's Doctor Who.
What's your least favorite line?
What's that?
What's your least favorite line?
Least favorite line. This one. Don't like doing that one
My
at all.
least favorite line is, "Hey, what's going on?" Hate that line.
I remember you broke out in a rash when you said it.
I did. Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for the great question.
Are you gonna make another movie?
Why are you so cute?
Oh my God! I can throw you in a backpack and we go climb a building together. Wow!
Careful, he'll eat you.
Yeah.
What was the question?
He will.
Sorry.
We would love to make another movie. I personally would like to do a series more than another movie.
Yeah.
Just because we have more time to do more funny stories. I mean, Jonan set out with Enter the Florpus to, as he said it, create. Everything was too much. It was too much volume, too much character, too much music, too much light, too much color, and he
That's what he
succeeded,
wanted.
and that's
Yeah.
what he wanted. But you know, if you look at the series, there was time to develop stories like Zim eats waffles, which is one of my favorite episodes. So I'd like to see a series before another movie, but we have no say in it.
But we can help.
Yes, we can help.
Get on the social media, Minneapolis. Watch the
Clap
movie.
really
just
loudly.
Keep your hands clapping. And Invader Zim survives.
Quick, louder! Not good enough. Zim is dead.
Look what you did!
What you did to Zim. I hope you're happy now. You ruined him.
Thank you for the great question.
question.
You're welcome.
Hi.
Why are you so cute?
I know, it's like...
So this is mainly for Mr. Horvitz, but
Why am I so cute? Well, jeans.
With Invader Zim and now Psychonauts both coming back
Yes.
after a seemingly long hiatus, what is it like to get that phone call or get that news that you, being at the core of it, are coming
It's
back
like this.
for it?
Hello, debt collectors? I'll be paying things soon.
Just don't answer the phone like me.
Oh, yes. Someone posted online recently that I was single-handedly bringing back the 1990s and 2000s. But I love it because a lot of it's not by choice, but a lot of the things I've ever done have always been called cult favorites, cult classics. So to me, I'm proud of that because, while I would like to have millions and millions of dollars, that's all. I'd like to have billions and millions of dollars. I'm proud of that. I did a movie in the 80s before most were born in this room called Summer School. And thank you. And that movie was, came out with all the other 80s movies at the time, all the John Hughes films and all these films. So it kind of also got buried amongst a lot of the commercially successful things. So I'm pretty proud that those things that I always felt like we were always kind of ahead, like we were just ahead of our time on most of the things I was in because we just were, and then it took time. Because if you look at any of the shows that came after Zim, they owe a lot to Zim. Rick and Morty, Adventure Time, but also Steven Universe owes a ton
Sorry, I
of debt
faded out.
to Invader
Yes.
Zim.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they owe us money.
Yes. And jobs. But that's a good question.
you.
Thank you. I'm ecstatic, and I'm feeling very grateful.
Thank you so
And
much.
why are you so cute? Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going today?
Good.
All right.
So, I have.
You buy any cookies for me?
No.
All right, get out.
I don't like cookies. I know, shocking.
They're in
It's
your
all right.
computer.
So basically, I know Invader Zim is a really old show, but
what?
I know Invader.
How dare you!
But I really.
You were like what, 30 when it came out?
So, I really love the show, and thank you for making it. I just saw the movie like a couple weeks ago, and I just.
And I hated it. I know why it's old now.
And I just watched like a bunch of the episodes of the show. I really love it. But like, what was your like most inspiration from Invader Zim?
Money. That was
Like,
my.
they were like, what
inspiration.
inspired us to make it, or like we made it and we were like, I feel inspired now.
Like, what inspired you to make it?
Money.
Just for the company. I was at home. I wanted to get out. I'm like, oh, there's some actors over there in a booth. Hi guys, how's it going? They're like, yeah, come in.
Yeah.
Anybody got sandwiches in here?
Watch
All
out,
right.
Ricky! Don't get kicked in the stomach by Jonan. That inspired me. It was a great show. It was fun. When we set out to make that show, we didn't know what it was going to be, but we were all kind of at like there's just a chemistry between the writing and Jonan's vision and the actors. We all gelled, and you can't like bottle that kind of chemistry. And we were all at the top of our game, so it was inspiring to us to go in there every day and was fun. But, we're in a dark room, making each other laugh. We have no idea if it's going to reach a wider audience, which we're fortunate it has.
I was mostly confused.
Yeah.
Because Jonan, before he made Invader Zim, he made a comic book called Johnny the Homicidal Maniac about a murderer. And I knew him, I met him in 1995 when he was 19, before he made the comic. And so when he told me he was pitching a show to Nickelodeon, I said, what? Do they know what you make? And turned out they didn't. True story.
Awesome. Thank you for the question.
Thank you for
And
your good question.
We are in our last 5 minutes. We'll try and lightning round these last
Yeah, so
few
everybody speak really
questions.
fast. We'll try not to interrupt you.
T-minus 5 seconds. If you have 2 questions, start with the second one.
You gotta talk like that.
The question I have is mostly for Ricky.
Okay, hi.
Do you remember? Do you remember the plan for Gert to turn into a giant pizza? And if you do, please tell the story as quickly as you can, because we don't have that much time. As Gert, please.
What?
Wow, Asger.
That was.
Wait, do you have a script for him?
Wait.
No.
Yeah, we did not pay him enough for a full script reading
Tell
right
the
now.
story of your idea for the giant pizza. And that's how you became.
Oh, you're gonna order 1 million pizzas, and I'm gonna roll around in them pizzas, and that's the story of how I become a giant pizza.
No, Gur.
That will never happen.
That will never happen, Gur.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite reaction.
Great question.
Yeah.
That will never
Great
happen.
question.
I know my favorite reaction is when you go sliding off and he goes, "You're horrible, Gur."
Yeah, they cut out a line when he rides the donkey and he slides off. He goes, "Sorry," and they cut that out because it was too loud in that part.
Right, because you can't be loud.
Right, yeah.
The thing we don't want is loud.
Yeah. They also cut out, there's a part where Gur says, I dreamed I was a macaroon.
Yeah.
I don't know where it was supposed to be in there, but that's gone. But I love that reaction that Zim, wow, you're just Dib today, that Zim has when Gur says the pizza plan, because he's so angry.
Yeah, he goes, "That'll never happen, Gur."
Dib.
I don't pay for a subscription.
Oh, look, there's a tiny Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Pikachu will electrocute you if you're not careful.
Pokemon.
Are you all charged up? Do you electrocute everybody around you?
Oh, wait, where's my phone? I'm going to catch a Pokemon. I'm going to catch it.
What's your question? What's your question, Pikachu?
This is the question for both of you. What's your favorite creation that you made?
Favorite creation that we made?
Gur Mini Moose.
Oh.
Oh, me?
Oh.
Oh,
Daddy,
without a
don't
doubt, Mini
choose.
Moose.
Oh.
He's my most evil creation ever. Mini Moose.
When you grow up, watch a movie called Sophie's Choice, and you'll find out that that's just It's the saddest question to ask.
That's right. That's a good question. I think
Thank you
Gur.
so much.
My mother used to say, because I had 5 brothers and sisters, my mother would say, if I was in that movie, Sophie's Choice, and I had to decide, I would just say, kill them all. She thought that was like really great. She thought that was like loving. I couldn't decide. I would just say, kill them all.
Egalitarian.
Yeah.
Hey, hello. If you were like gonna make another show about, if you're going to make another series of Invader Zim, could you do it if it had like a bigger focus around the other invaders?
No, we would not do that.
Because
no,
we would kill them.
Yes.
So that we could be
Maybe-
stars again.
Maybe Scooge. Maybe
Yeah.
Scooge, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe
We
Invader
decided
Zim.
to actively sabotage any show or movie that Jonah tries to create that isn't us.
Yes. Yes.
Also, are you ever going to bring back Invader Tack?
She was actually, it had a bigger part in the movie,
Yeah.
actually, but for time, they had to edit out a whole thing with her.
Tack is actually in the space prison.
Yeah.
And that's why her spaceship gets so excited to go back to the space prison to
Right.
break her out.
But
That's
that was in the
that's
script,
what her
but it-
spaceship was doing, was breaking out Tack.
Yeah.
All right.
They
Thank
got
you for
cut
those
out, though.
questions. We are at time. We'll try and get this question in real quick.
All right.
How do you relieve the vocal strain when you do your character voices?
How do we do what?
Relieve the strain
The
on your
vocal
voice.
strain, I drink a lot of this. Like when we used to record, we'd have a 4-hour session. I would go through 6 bottles of these per 4-hour session. And then I would pee for 3 days. And that's
Great.
how I relieved.